Well, they've been moving my teeth.
Hilarious.
My teeth used to be more centered.
Gillian, you're supposed to laugh at all my jokes.
No, I can't pick sides.
It's not picking sides, it's picking my side. That's the side you want to be on.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, my teeth.
Okay, go ahead.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
Hola, hola, Coca-Cola.
Let's go over summer crew training. Hi, Jacob. Okay. So, summer crew, guys, before we get into this beautiful handout, it changes every single year. And it's sometimes really fun, and sometimes it's almost terrifying to the point you don't want to leave your room and you might pull out all your hair. But I also think that had to do with just some personal moments I had during the summer. And yeah, on that note, summer crew training. So, a normal day during summer crew. So you get into the office before crew gets in there. Crew normally gets in there around 9 o'clock. You want to arrive early because you want to make sure everything's prepared. You want to print out when to work. They're scheduled on when to work, so you want to print out that day who's working at what time. Because before they get there, they normally meet in the rec room. You want to be able to meet them in the rec room and pass out everything right then and there, rather than be like, oh, hold on guys, wait in here, let me go finish stuff. So you normally get in the office around 8:30. You work on these lovely maps, which I will explain later, and you take roll. A big thing is this summer crew training, being a crew leader, is kind of like your training for being an RD. And that's because you have a lot of people looking up to you, and you have a lot of people who want to do their best, but you have to push them sometimes, and sometimes you have to be there to support them as well. So you meet in the rec room and you take roll. Then, like I said, just like RA life, you want to be stern. So in the very beginning, you want to be really strict about being on time. Being on time is being late. Being early is being on time. That's what I've always been taught, and that's what I try to go by. And you want to also give grace. You also want to give grace because you don't know what type of life they live, but that's something where if it becomes a habit, that's where you do a one-on-one meeting with them and just explain to them that this is their job. But in the very beginning, be really strict. Make sure that they know that they have to be on time, because there are some days that we literally only have 2 hours to finish 30 rooms, and those few extra minutes count. You want to make sure that they know that you are their boss. You're just going to be the same age as some of them. I know I had an interview with one of the guys, and he politely asked me how old I was, because he just was so shocked that I was going to be someone who was, well, he told me, I didn't ask him how old he was, because you can't do that in interviews, but he was a freshman. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, he was, I think he,
Judging you.
I think he was,
Sorry, I'm all mad.
I think he was like expecting me to say that I was like 30.
Oh.
Like he thought I
When
looked
I
young.
thought Erica looked like a mother when she beeped at me in her Explorer.
Yeah, she thought I was a mom. Anyway.
Sorry.
You want to explain what needs to be done and then what can be done that day. So there's a difference between what is like, this has to be done, and then if we finish this, then we can work on this, which will help us tomorrow. And then that all will be explained a little bit more too. So you want to send crew leaders to get the supplies. What's nice, this year we're going to have carts that will be labeled crew team number 1, crew team number 2, and they'll have all of their cleaning supplies on there, as well as a vacuum. Vacuums were a big problem for us last year. We didn't know where they went. Some broke, some were taken from housekeeping, and that's another thing. Our supplies is completely separate from housekeeping supplies. So we will be keeping our stuff in 3rd floor storage up at Gardens.
It might change. But.
And that might change. And then also there's a room in Del Norte that will keep stuff. But the very beginning, we're not gonna have crew leaders. We're gonna just have crew, but we're gonna have them separated into teams already. And those teams will be divided probably, and again, anything can change, probably from morning crew teams to afternoon crew teams. And through that, we have people returning, so we kind of know some people's work ethic, how they do with taking orders, how they do with keeping other people accountable. And then probably in the second week, we'll pick crew leaders who will then be like the leader of their team and will report to us. That way we're not having like all these crew people coming to us, telling us problems. We just have one person who's direct line of information. A crew leader, and I kind of did terms here. So a crew leader is a crew member who has shown a role of leadership and responsibility, someone who can keep other crew members on task and accountable. Because we will be doing a lot of things, we might be at different buildings, it's really important that you have a crew leader who's going to keep their team on task. We can't be checking in up on them all the time. We wouldn't be able to get half of the things we need to get done. We do a lot of timely stuff. So like making signs, checking rooms, putting up signs, opening up drawers, finding nuts and bolts, scrummaging through every nook and cranny to find a bunk pen. But hopefully that will not be the case this year. Team supplies. Each team will have their own kits, which include vacuum bucket with toilet cleaner, towels, gloves, scrubs, cleaning products. Toilet paper is a big thing. Soap is a big thing. And mostly when we clean the villas, the bathroom supplies is a huge thing. They're very picky about their bathrooms. I know. Each team will also have their own drills and buckets of nuts, washers, and bolts, and bunking pins. You guys will have all this lingo down by the end of the first week. We want to make sure when they're putting their supplies away that everything is organized, that the drills are on the chargers, that the bunking pins are in the right area, because if supplies are running low, we need to know beforehand because Dave Sample orders them. We don't want to have like last year where we were running to Home Depot. I don't know why I went to Home Depot. I didn't even know what size, so then I had to come back here, get an example, go back, and thankfully a nice Home Depot employee helped me, but it definitely is scary going alone. Send each team a description of what needs to be done with a list of rooms. So in your guys', you guys are all gonna have clipboards. In your guys' clipboards, I'll probably put a little notepad, and on that notepad, you put the property, you put the rooms, what needs to be done in the rooms, and I explained that a little farther down. And then you also have these maps. These are for you. You don't normally give these to the crew teams. You only give them the piece of paper with the rooms that need to get completed. Then, okay, this will be compiled before crew gets in. So all of this stuff needs to basically be done before crew gets in. So you need to have your maps done and drawn out. You need to have which teams are doing what rooms figured out. Salto keys, they need to be updated with the correct rooms so that they can get into rooms on their own time. And you need to make sure that you're collecting that stuff at the end of the day too. With this property, we don't pass out safe lock keys. We tend to just be here and we open up the doors for them. What we always did is just open up all the doors that need to be cleaned. And then when they're done cleaning the rooms, they'd shut them, and then we know to check on those rooms that are shut. Okay, on a notepad, put room number and building with team name on top. List the rooms and specific instructions on what needs to be done. So, examples: spot clean, deep clean, setup, add bed. So spot clean is a light clean, needs to be vacuumed, trash taken out, windows clean, toilets and shower clean. Check fridges and microwave, those need to be wiped down if they're dirty. Check all drawers. Drawers are a huge thing. We have a lot of camps that come in and out. Some are young and some are older groups. And it's the worst experience when you have a check-in and a parent like grabs you and goes, "What is this?" And they show you this drawer full of dirty whatever, who knows what. It could be food, it could be underwear, it could be something, alcohol.
Because a lot of time, why Eric is saying that is because we have such young kids, the mothers come in, they'll unpack their things for them.
Yeah, we have a lot of, I want to say, high class parents that send their kids to these camps because they are very, very highly looked upon camps, like the Kobe Bryant, the Vogel Singer Soccer, Jordan, and those are the camps that parents will literally bring their own cleaning supplies and clean the room, and will go to Costco, buy their kids almost as if they're never going to eat, and they're here for 3 days, but they get like a week full of stuff. Like, these parents, they invest a lot of money, and that's why it is really important to check every single nook and cranny of the rooms. And by your 50th room, you want to just trust in your crew members that they cleaned everything, but you have to go through everything, because it's that worst feeling when a camp comes and there's a complaint and you're the person that gets slapped because you're the person that was responsible for checking the room.
Just out of curiosity, what is the age range?
The age range can literally be from, I want to say,
6
6
to high school seniors.
High school seniors
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's never older than
and
this.
coaches. We have a lot of coaches that,
Coaches stay in here.
Referee.
Yes.
We've also had U.S. Rugby come. I
Yeah.
don't know if they're
Yeah.
coming this year as well.
And we
And they're
An old
they're-
retirement reading
Yeah.
club or something.
and we also have Brady Tennis, who has adult camps, so those are like 40-year-olds, 35-year-olds. They're used to,
And they like will sleep